Okay, let's talk racial bias in medical tests, which should come as a surprise to pretty much nobody who pays attention to history. So, anyway, let's just get into the article. Racial bias built into a common medical test for lung function is likely leading to fewer black patients getting care for breathing problems, a study published Thursday suggests. As many as 40% more black male patients in the study might have been diagnosed with breathing problems if current diagnosis assisted computer software was changed, the study said. Doctors have long discussed the potential problems caused by race-based assumptions that are built into diagnostic software. This study, published in JAMA Network Open, offers one of the first real-world examples of how the issue may affect diagnosis and care for lung patients, said Dr. Darshali Vyash, a pulmonary care doctor at Massachusetts General Hospital. The results are exciting to see published, but it's also what we'd expect from setting aside race-based calculations. And Vyash, who was an author of an influential 2020 New England Journal of Medicine article that cataloged examples of how race-based assumptions are used in making doctors' decisions about patient care. So yeah, it took them this long to get into what the study found. What are the biases? For centuries, some doctors and others have held beliefs that there are natural racial differences in health, including one that black people's lungs were innately worse than those of white people. That assumption ended up in modern guidelines and algorithms for assessing risk and deciding on further care. Test results were adjusted to account for, or correct, for a patient's race or ethnicity. This reminds me of what happened with the NFL. You can possibly have CTE. You were stupid to begin with. Being said to black people that's why that they weren't getting the compensation white football players were getting for head injuries, because obviously black people's brains were injured to begin with or something. Anyway. Hate these stupid ads. Where am I? Let me just make sure. Okay. One example beyond lung function is a heart failure risk scoring system that categorizes black patients as being at lower risk and less likely to need referral for special cardiac care. Another is an equation used to determine kidney function that creates estimates of higher kidney functions in black patients. The new study focused on a test to determine how much and how quickly a person can inhale and exhale. It's often done using a spirometer, a device with a mouthpiece connected to a small machine. After the test, doctors get a report that has been run through computer software and scores the patient's ability to breathe. It helps indicate whether a patient has restrictions and needs further testing or care for things like asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, or lung scarring due to air pollutant exposure. Algorithms that adjust for race raise the threshold for diagnosing a problem in black patients and may make them less likely to get started on certain medications or to be referred for medical procedures or even lung transplants. While physicians also look at symptoms, lab work, x-rays, and family histories of breathing problems, the pulmonary functioning test can be an important part of diagnoses, especially when patients are borderline, says Dr. Albert Rizzo, the chief medical officer at the American Lung Association. And actually, my father, who is a retired physician, that's one of the things he bemoans, that too many doctors rely on tests too much rather than, you know, in-person office testing, because my dad was pretty good at diagnosing things that you didn't necessarily even see on a test, because he just knew what the hell he was looking for. So yeah. This over-reliance on tests is also a problem. So let's see. The new study looked at more than 2,700 black men and 5,700 white men tested by University of Pennsylvania health system doctors between 2010 and 2020. The researchers looked at spirometry and lung volume measurements and assessed how many were deemed to have breathing impairments under the race-based algorithm as compared to under a new algorithm. Earlier this year, the American Thoracic Society, which represents lung care doctors, issued a statement recommending replacement of race-focused adjustments, but the organization also put a call out for more research, including into the best way to modify software and whether making a change might inadvertently lead to overdiagnosis of lung problems in some patients. Viash noted some other algorithms have already been changed to drop race-based assumptions, including one for pregnant women that predicts risk of vaginal delivery if the mom previously had a cesarean section. Changing the lung testing algorithm may take longer, he said, especially if different hospitals use different versions of race-adjusting procedures and software. So yeah, once again, a study that really isn't telling us anything we couldn't, probably figured out. That the diagnostic tests have faulty assumptions built into it, and because of that, people suffer. So I'm glad that something's being done about this, because I'm sure most of these doctors, if not all, they don't want to miss a diagnosis for a patient. Most of them are not racist. They don't want to do that. They just go by. But, I can understand if it's borderline that they might be more cautious if the test says it's okay. But if the test says it's not borderline and it is, maybe you should take the test into question, because I would assume that if someone's borderline and the test says they're not even that, maybe believe your own judgment over the test. But maybe that's how this study even came to be. Anyway, that's all I think I have for this video, and I will see you guys next time.